Hello, welcome to Origination, awakening new entrepreneurs, growing a new economy, creating a new world. I'm Michael E. Gerber. It's April 22nd, 2010. It's Earth Day. What a fitting time to be speaking with you today. The world's economy has been shattered. In these United States of America, both Wall Street and Main Street have been wrought with a tsunami of fiscal disaster, the size and complexity of which has not been experienced since the Great Depression. The result has been economic chaos for large companies and small, to a degree still underappreciated nor fully understood. The experts don't understand it. The millions of unemployed and now unemployable certainly don't understand it. The companies whose fate has been derailed so drastically do not understand it either. The media on the right and on the left don't understand it, and chances are that you, the one I'm speaking to you at this very moment, don't understand it either, but it's simple to understand. We live in an increasingly socialistic world in which the free market principles that built our country, the United States of America, have been derailed by programs and policies politicized by greed, power, narcissism, and ignorance through decisions made with such debonair indifference to the impact they'll have on current and future generations as to defy understanding. The only question one can ask is, how could so many supposedly smart people, free people after all, be so unmitigatingly stupid? Well, of course they can't be. Not stupid at all, simply ignorant. Ignorant of the significance that at one point in the short-lived career of our extraordinary country there was a Constitution and a Bill of Rights. Ignorant of the significance that at one point in our country's short-lived career there were sacred principles which have long ago been trodden down and dismembered. Ignorant of the significance that at one point of time in our country we believed we were a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. That our country represented the best of all countries, that our ideals represented the best of all ideals, that we were and that we are a grand history in the making. Ignorant of the significance that the downtrodden could make their home here and make a run of it, that the good would always prevail, that the biblical verses we memorized then in Sunday school or in synagogue were true. Absolutely, not relatively so, or even worse, not true at all. We believed in such seemingly to us today naive truths back then, at the beginning, during the 18th century and the War of Liberation with Great Britain, during the 19th century and our own Civil War, during the 20th century until World War I, and then through the Great Depression, and then through World War II, and then through the Korean War, and then through the Cold War, and then something quite different took place with the Vietnam War, and the hippie movement, and the age of jazz and rock and roll, and the age of psychology, and the new age which followed introspectively on its heels, and our children became strangers to us, and our parents did too. And the work we did became much different than ever before, as the age of the knowledge worker took us to places in the 21st century we had never been to before. With the age of information technology, and the age of the internet, and the two Gulf Wars, and the unimaginable happening with the bombing of New York, and the Pentagon, and a field in Pennsylvania, and so forth, and so on some more. And even through all of that, in this country, something was being looked for, while something was being lost. And what was lost was our innocence. And what was looked for was something to replace it. Something to replace our lost innocence. Exactly when we lost our innocence in these United States of America is not understood. Perhaps it is true that we were never innocent. Perhaps even at the founding of our country, when those great imaginative men, Jefferson, Washington, Franklin et al. Saw a truth which had never been seen before and imagined they could manifest it. Perhaps that was the nadir of our innocence, that those men believed in their vision as did the people there during the awakening of that new country, this country, so much so that they all fought for it. Perhaps that's, after all, what innocence is. A belief so resolute and pure that one is willing to fight and die for it. If so, we have come a long way today from that sacred space reserved for an innocent people which we held close and secure in what I have come to think of as the Founders' Days. What has brought us to this point in time is the exact opposite of that sacred space, the exact opposite of that innocence, the exact opposite of that fresh, noble, and relentless cause which imbued our founders and our people with the energy to pursue the impossible, to throw off the yoke around their necks, to free their minds, to dream outrageous dreams, and to then do what it was they had dreamed of and create a country of it. And of course then, at the heart of our conviction, was our resolute belief in God. Yes, God was the cause majeure, the reason for our being, the source of our higher thoughts, the entirety, the everything, the all. Back then, God appeared on everything we created, the buildings we built, the money we printed, the speeches we spoke, and the teachings we taught. God was then the force, the higher power, which put man and his works in perspective at the beginning, during, and long after the Founders' Days. Come forward to April 22nd, 2010. Today, instead of being innocent, we are sarcastic, cynical, political, greedy, and mostly narcissistic, thinking that we, the people, are the aim for which we live our lives, the sole purpose of the life we have been given, the sole reason for being, the highest we can hope for, the end and the means of our existence. That despite what most would say to the contrary, today we live our lives as if there is no God, as if there are no sacred standards, as if there is only us. We, for whom everything is to be given, for whom everything has been created, for whom everything finds its reason. Today, it's all about us. And perhaps that's the lesson we learned during those years when we grew our country so ambitiously, so bravely, so courageously, that we, the people, are invincible, that our intelligence knows no bounds, that our reach is infinite, that there is no need to believe in God, to live our lives for God, to create heaven on earth, because heaven was not of earth. If it was anything at all, it was the place we would all go to at the end of our times. Earth was something else again. Earth was for man. And look at what man has been able to create. In short, we had made the extraordinary leap during those early years to believe so much in ourselves, in our invincibility, in our power, that we came to the outrageous assumption that man was not man, but God. And if man was God, then there was no limit to what we could possess. And at that exact moment, when man in his own mind became God, is when we lost our innocence, is when those things we created were created for us and only for us. And then, at that exact moment as well, our greed to own the universe compelled us to do anything we chose to do, to invent anything we chose to invent, to feed ourselves and our immense, insatiable, continually growing lust with the rewards that only being God could justify in man's overreacting, outrageous mind. And that is the reason for the catastrophe that finally came to pass. And that is why our innocence must be discovered again. We must become founders again. We must discover and then found a new country. Welcome to the age of the new entrepreneur. There could not be a better time for the renewal of our innocence than this. With major corporations and industries in disarray, with small businesses suffering from credit starvation, with millions of individuals suffering without careers or jobs, and the consequent distrust of the institutions they had grown to trust, with entire institutions turned upside down, and with the government attempting to fill the gap with extreme, poorly considered solutions, if they're considered at all, increasing our debt by trillions upon trillions of dollars, and the indebtedness of our people beyond anything ever experienced in our history. There is no other way to transform our lives and our country than to go back to the beginning once more, where God was, and where we were blessed with His imagination to create once again a country endowed with meaning, a country like America. What is that country? I think of it as a new venture unlike the ventures we have created in the past, a new venture invested with meaning, as this country first was. Not born out of greed, not born out of excess, not born out of a belief that man is God, but that man was born in the image of God to create, to renew, to fix the world, to make it the place it was born to be by God, a home for God. That is man's job here on earth. That is the job the founders and stakeholders of our country were imbued with. That is the hope we have as we pursue the renewal of our innocence. That is the essence of this most remarkable time in our country and our lives. That is what the chaos is saying to us, to each and every single one of us. Fix me. Fix the world. Fix everything you have broken. Fix your lives. Break free of the poison which inflicts you and the work you do. Awaken the entrepreneur within you, each and every one of you, the creator, the imagineer, the inventor, the magician, the faith healer, the nurse, the doctor, the spirit leader, the lover and the freedom seeker, the joyful and the present. Awaken all that. Discover yourself as you discover God, as you discover the reason for being here at all, for having been brought to earth by God, as He spoke to each of us, to our souls, as He said, go there and fix it. Go there and grow there. Go there and create a new world. Go there and create something that has never existed before. Go there and complete what I have started. Do that for me, God said, and you shall live for eternity with the earth as in heaven. Welcome to the age of the new entrepreneur. Welcome to Origination. Origination is an enterprise designed by my wife, Luz Delia Gerber, and myself, Michael E. Gerber, to transform the state of the world by awakening the new entrepreneur within each and every human being in the world and teaching you how to create a new venture, helping you as you build it, and then leaving you with the skills you need to teach and help others to do the very same thing. The essence of origination is that it is the power, the energy, the imagination endowed in every human being to create. That within every human being there is a spirit of invention. At Origination, we call that spirit the new entrepreneur. At Origination, we have invented the process essential to awaken that spirit, inspire her to grow, and then to teach her, to teach you the skills you require to create a new venture that can transform the world. At Origination, we believe that every individual can create a new venture born out of your own inspiration and imagination to do something uniquely through a company of your own invention and passion, and that by so doing, you can transform the world. The process created to achieve this result by Origination begins in what we have come to call the Dreaming Room. The Dreaming Room first saw the light of day on December 8th, 9th, and 10th, 2005. I remember it well, when I led a small but intense group of 30 or so individuals who responded to my invitation to come dream with me. The curriculum was simple: a blank piece of paper and beginner's mind. Please let me say that again: a blank piece of paper and beginner's mind. The process was intense, invigorating, immensely stimulating, and completely unpredictable. Where most of the individuals who would come there had the expectation that they would learn something specific about fixing the companies they owned, in fact, something quite different occurred to each and every one of them in the dreaming room. Rather than engaging in the time-weary exploration of what didn't work and what they were doing, we instead pursued a conversation about what was waiting for them on the other side of their imagination. What could have occurred had they begun their current business, had they begun their life by inventing a new, compellingly meaningful venture unlike anything they had ever thought of before. Since then, we have led over 57 dreaming rooms, where individuals have discovered how to awaken the new entrepreneur within them. I've written a new book on the subject called Awakening the Entrepreneur Within: How Ordinary People Can Create Extraordinary Companies Without Any Experience to Guide Them. We have created a system through which countless others could accomplish the same objectives I accomplished by leading and facilitating dreaming rooms of their own, with individuals who are determined to discover the entrepreneur within them, within you. Now, with the launch of Origination, we're inviting you to engage in the conversation with Luz Delia and I about becoming one of the many thousands of individuals who will become entrepreneurial leaders of our new world. Individuals who we're inviting to come dream with us in order to be certified as a dreaming room facilitator wherever you live. Whatever you wish to accomplish by beginning a new venture of your own, based upon the sound principles we have learned, practiced, and developed over the past 35 years, both in the dreaming room and with Michael E. Gerber Companies and with my founding of eMyth Worldwide in 1977, where we have worked with over 70,000 broken businesses in 145 countries, teaching, coaching, mentoring, and inspiring them to transform their lives while transforming the life of their business in a practical yet stimulating process we invented for that very purpose. This invitation is being sent to you to engage you in the most meaningful entrepreneurial odyssey you have ever imagined. If you would love to engage in a conversation about transformation, if you would love to engage in a conversation about an entrepreneurial odyssey to completely alter your life and the lives of those you love and know, if you would love to bring Origination and the dreaming room to your neighborhood and are committed to learning exactly what you must know in order to make that a living reality, if you are committed to bringing your life and the lives of countless others in your community, in your family, among your friends, relatives, associates, partners, to a new place far beyond your present capability, then simply say, "Yes, Michael, I wish to discover how to lead a dreaming room. I wish to become certified to transform the state of entrepreneurship in the lives of the many people I know and am yet to know." Say yes to me, and by so doing, you will begin to alter irretrievably the state of innocence we once knew in our great country, and which we must, without fail, begin to work in each and every individual who is ready and determined to do the very same thing in their lives. Remember, please, government cannot do this for us. Bureaucracy cannot awaken the entrepreneur within us. It can only kill it. Taxation is not the means for growing the world. It is solely the means for tapping into the energy and depleting it, the energy that is the life force underlying every creative act we, as individuals, as entrepreneurs, pursue with every fiber of our being. Yes, come dream with me, friends. Come transform the world with me. To find out more, simply complete the brief questionnaire I'm going to send to you in just a moment, and we'll be back with you. Remember, The world is undergoing a transformation right now. The decision you make will determine the outcome of that transformation for you, for those you love, for the people in your community, for the people in your country, and for the people in the world. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for the step you're about to take. Now, go to Origination at michaelegerber.com/facilitator. Let me say that again. Go to Origination at michaelegerber.com/facilitator. Come dream with me. I'm Michael E. Gerber, speaking to you from Carlsbad, California, ready to transform the world through you. Good day.